TK, and welcome back to this morning's theme introduction read aloud. The first question I want to get started with today is if you guys like apples. I want to know how many of my students enjoy eating yummy, crispy red or green apples. If you enjoy apples and you really like to eat them, give me a thumbs up. Show me a thumbs up on your screen so I can see how many of my friends enjoy and like eating apples. Good. If you don't like apples, give me a thumbs down. Okay, well, I think that the majority of us really do enjoy eating apples. And now I want us to think about where apples come from. Apples usually grow on trees. Actually, not usually, they always come from trees. And I want to think about some other fruits that come from trees. Can you take a second to think about some other fruits that grow on trees? Let's take a 10-second break to think about some fruits that grow on trees. Okay, so let's share out some ideas that we heard. I think I may have heard somebody say, oranges grow on trees. Did somebody say oranges? Very good. Did anybody say peaches grow on trees? Yes, they do. What about lemons? Do lemons grow on trees? Yes, they do. I know some of us might think that lemons are vegetables, but they're actually a fruit and they grow on trees. What about a banana? Do bananas grow on trees? Yes, they do. Okay, they grow on very tropical trees, but bananas definitely grow on trees. How about coconuts? Coconuts definitely grow on trees. Okay, so thank you guys for helping me think of some fruits that grow on trees. We are going to continue the introduction for this week's lessons by starting a book all about an apple tree. Okay, and this book is a really fun book that has lots of beautiful illustrations, and it sort of tells and continues to tell about seasons in the year and how some trees and fruit trees might change throughout the seasons. Now, I know we know a little bit about what happens with trees because we just looked at the large big wall chart behind me, but in this book we're going to specifically see how this apple tree changes. Okay, so I'm going to start by reading you the title, The Apple Pie Tree. And this book is by Zoe Hall. She is the author. That means she is the person who wrote the book. And the illustrator is Sherry Halpern. And the illustrator is the person who drew the pictures. Okay, so these pictures kind of remind me of Eric Carle's illustrations. They're very colorful and bright. Okay. The apple tree. Let's continue. Okay. My sister and I have a tree that grows the best part of apple pie. Can you guess what that is? And it looks like they have some supplies ready to make some apple pie here. They have some apples, cinnamon sticks, butter, flour. Apples. And every year we watch our apple tree grow. In winter, our apple tree is brown and bare. Okay, let's talk about the word bare. We talked about it a little bit when we were doing our theme introduction, but the word bare, B-A-R-E, sort of means like naked, like it doesn't have anything on it, okay? It is very minimal. So in winter, their apple tree is brown and bare, sort of like the tree that we looked at in the picture behind us back here. But in spring, leaves grow on every branch. Look, 2 robins are building a nest in our tree. Okay, so keep in mind, he said in spring, leaves grow on every branch. And we've already determined that in spring that's when we start to get a lot of new growth. Animals start to come out again and they're happy. It's getting warmer. And look at this little kitty cat scratching on the tree. Tiny pink flower buds appear on the branches. The robins chirp loudly, guarding their eggs. blue robin eggs. We see some buds here that are growing. And remember, a bud is when it starts to flower, and that's usually where a fruit is going to grow. Flower bud. Just when the flower buds open, baby robins break through the eggshells. Look at the mama, she's feeding all of her little hungry babies. Now our tree is covered with blossoms, and the baby robins begin to grow feathers. When breezes blow, the petals fall to the ground. Mama and Papa Robin teach their little birds to fly. Some days it rains and the wind blows hard, but our apple tree is strong and the robins are safe in the branches. Here they are. See those? All the leaves and everything are keeping them safe. Small green apples grow where the blossoms used to be. And so notice that all of these little blossoms that used to be flowers are now starting to grow into tiny green apples. Soon it is summer. The apples get bigger and bigger. The little robins have grown up, but they visit every day. Can you see the robins? The branches bend down low. They are covered with big round apples. So notice the branches. They're starting to get really heavy because they're growing all of these big apples on them. And then even the deer are able to get them. Now it is autumn. The apples are red and ready to be picked. We fill our basket to the brim. Okay? And so he says now it is autumn, which is another name for the fall season. Okay? So when are these apples ready? Are they ready in the spring, summer, or fall? These apples are most ready in the fall. Mom and Dad help us peel the apples, cut them up, and pile them into a pie shell. Then we sprinkle cinnamon and sugar over the top. Mom puts the pan in the oven. That looks yummy. At last, the pie is cooked and ready to be eaten. Our tree has grown an apple pie. It smells so good. And it tastes delicious. There's nothing as good as an apple pie you grew yourself. And there they are enjoying their apple pie, looking out at their beautiful apple tree that gave them all of those yummy apples. Okay, so let's talk about how long did it take them to be able to make this apple pie? Were they able to just get those apples right away? Were they ready to just make an apple pie any time of year? Or did they have to wait for a certain season? That's right. The apple tree started to grow blossoms in the spring. Those blossoms grew bigger and bigger in the summer, and then the apples were fully ready in the fall. That is why when it is the fall or autumn season and we get ready to go pumpkin picking and do all of those fun fall activities, lots of people also take trips to apple orchards, because apple orchards allow people to come and pick apples when they are most ripe and ready to be picked and taken home. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this story. We are going to continue by talking more about the seasons of the year throughout our lessons this week. I hope you all enjoyed this story, and I will see you guys soon.